An elite academy chooses youths from throughout the world who possess magical powers and trains them to combat horrible creatures known as the enemies of humanity on a secluded island. Nakajima is a gifted youngster who, unlike everyone else in his class, appears to lack any powers. This immediately makes him an outcast and a target of bullying. The teacher presents 2 new students to the class one day, and a boy steps in, introducing himself as Kyouya, the class brute. Mogo questions him about his talent, only for the teacher to remark that Kyouya's talent is a well-guarded secret, leading Nakajima to think he is powerful. Following Kyouya, a pink-haired girl enters and introduces herself as Nana joyfully. To everyone's surprise, she tells the class that her skill is mind reading. Following the introductions, they elect a class representative. Nana begins by proposing to Nakajima, highlighting all the traits that make him a good leader, but none listen, and the 2 popular kids volunteer instead. They couldn't agree on who to vote for, so they fought it out. Seiya, the boy who can freeze any liquid, and Mogo, the youngster who can shoot fireballs, square off in the field. Seiya defeats Mogo by freezing his leg, rendering him unable to stand up after a succession of attacks from either team. Enraged and unable to accept defeat, Mogo fires a big fireball at Seiya. Nakajima is on his feet instantly, blocking and disintegrating the fireball. Nana, perplexed, asks Nakajima how he did it, and he explains that his power is to neutralize the powers of others. Following the courageous exhibition of exceptional skills, the class agrees to elect Nakajima as the class representative, giving the boy renewed confidence. Later, on the ledge, Nakajima tells Nana that he can't believe he's the leader. She congratulates him and informs him that this is a new beginning for him. Nakajima extends his hand to shake hers. Nana's adorable aura morphs into a gloomy one out of nowhere, throwing him off balance and pushing him off the cliff. Nakajima, perplexed, grabs a rope for dear life and asks what is going on. She explains in a deep and sinister voice that the true enemies of humanity are not the filthy monsters he sees in his textbooks but those like him who can subjugate others who do not easily, and she knows he is a big threat to humanity after seeing what he can accomplish. She sends him tumbling to his death with one final shove. Nana stands in the center of a dimly lit courtroom under a spotlight. There, officials hidden in the shadows appear to give her orders to eliminate the talents, aka her classmates. Because, as it turns out, mankind's foes aren't terrible, savage beasts but rather humans who have mutated and obtained extraordinary powers, which they have used to dominate the rest of humanity. The teacher attempts to get a disorderly class to pay attention during a class activity in a lake. Having had enough, Seiya displays his skill by freezing the entire lake. Nana notices how solid the ice is and how unlikely it is to melt rapidly. Nana sits with Seiya later that day as Mogo bullies another student. Mogo swings his arm to attack but is knocked off balance. This is revealed to be Shibusawa's doing. Another boy in the class is rumored to have the capacity to freeze time. Seiya tells Nana on the side that Shibusawa may be the strongest person in the class, prompting Nana to designate him as her next target. Nana invites Shibusawa for lunch to learn more about his talent. She realizes that Shibusawa, rather than being able to freeze time, can travel back in time. Nana devises a scheme to murder him. When Kyouya, one of the new students who came with Nana and whose talent has been hidden, joins them, he appears to question Nana about Nakajima's disappearance, as if he is intrigued or concerned about it. On the other hand, Nana easily gains the upper hand in the conversation and pushes Kyouya away to avoid more suspicion. Soon later, Shibusawa becomes interested in investigating Nakajima's disappearance and informs Nana that he will assist in finding him. This, however, led to his fate because Nana could transport him back in time to a time when the lake was frozen and trapped him beneath with no way out alive. Because Kyouya is beginning to suspect Nana, she decides to expose Kyouya's powers to figure out how to dispose of him. After determining from their encounters that he cannot smell, she arranges for him to enter a room full of petrol that she has rigged to explode when a stove is lighted. Her method worked, and she eventually discovered that his power was self-regeneration after being burned up by the fire. Nana witnessed in real time how quickly his body healed from the burns. However, Kyouya became even more skeptical of her, trying to get Kyouya off her back so she could keep killing. Nana devises a scheme to appear as a victim by covertly stabbing herself in the back and blaming it on humanity's foes. This works, and she even gains the approval of her classmates, who vote for her as class representative. She even assigns someone to go through the class and assess their ability. Tsunekichi approaches her one evening to show her an image and asks her to explain it, but this backfires. Tsunekichi discloses that he can travel to the future, and the snapshot she is gazing at depicts an event that will occur within the next few hours. She was clutching a weapon and posing to hit the bound Tsunekichi. She tells him it must be a mistake, but Tsukineki is adamant. He brings her to a restaurant and demonstrates that his images from the future are not a ruse and that what they record is true. Tsunekichi shows Nana another photo and asks her to explain it. Nana continues to deny this. It depicts Nana kicking Nakajima to death on the cliff in the afternoon when Nakajima died. Tsunekichi threatens to show the images to the class, causing Nana to realize he's blackmailing her. Nana assures Tsukineki that she is not an enemy of humanity and wonders how to persuade him. Tsunekichi hints that she could be his girlfriend. Nana sees this as an opportunity to keep a tight eye on him. Tsunekichi falls asleep after being told to spend the night with him while the instant camera on Tsukineki's bed captures images. Nana hides the pictures and leaves the room to take replacement photos. Tsukineki later tells Nana that he took 5 photos but only found 4 when he woke up. He reaches into her top and pulls out a photo of her bound. This lowers Tsunekichi's guard because he agrees that Nana is not in danger with this photograph. Tsukineki informs Nana that he will go to the PE shed at night and believe her if nothing happens to him by 10 p.m. Tsukineki is found lifelessly sprawled on the ground around 10 p.m., despite his conviction that he won't die that night. It turns out that Nana herself faked the photos of him being tied up to reduce his defenses. As soon as he stepped into the shed, fate intervened and took his life. Even with one problem solved, Nana still has a lot on her plate when Kalija and Michiru, the healing student, walk in on her standing near Tsukineki's body. Tsunekichi led her there and showed the images of her practicing intimate things, she pretended. Kyouya deduced that she may have taken him down in self-defense, but she wasn't certain. Everyone had left except Michiru, who was still attempting to resurrect Tsunekichi. She felt something beneath the dead boy's jacket and grabbed it just as the menacing-looking Nana entered the room. Michiru sees a photograph of Tsunekichi's imagined Nana kicking Nakajima down a cliff. Michiru believes Nana when she tells her that Tsunekichi cannot always make predictions and that it could all be a dream because of her overwhelming admiration for Nada. Tensions are mounting at Tsukineki's burial, and everyone appears concerned that humanity's foes are closing in. Kaya insists on an autopsy, while Nana does everything she can to avoid it. Just as Kyouya is about to open the casket, Tsukineki's incandescent body opens it from the inside, shocking everyone. Shinji, a shy and often absent student, announces himself as a necromancer. He claimed to be able to reanimate the dead and even force them to provide information, in this case, the cause of his death. In a desperate attempt, Nana declares that she can hear Tsunekichi's thoughts to let him rest and has decided that the more respectable autopsy procedure will be used instead. That same night, Nana follows Shinji, marking him as her next prize because his abilities in reanimating the dead pose a significant threat to her purpose because they could implicate her. She learns about Shinji's relationship with Yuka, a classmate with superhuman strength. She befriends them and discovers a larger revelation: Yuka is the true necromancer, and Shinji is dead and only being reanimated by the obsessed Yuka. Nana finds Yuka in a vulnerable moment, takes her poison needles, and kills her. Nana approaches Habu in the forest and inquires about her buddy Kori. Habu informs Nana that she fought with Kyori. Nana pricks Habu with her poison needle and takes her phone, instructing her to give her the antidote in exchange for the password. Nana leaves her to die after Habu gives her the password before entering Kori's room to poison Kori's contact lenses. Later, Nana brings Kyouya, Michiru, Siyu, and Mogo to the forest to explain how Yuka was the necromancer who reanimated Shinji's body for him to be with him forever. She eventually regretted her actions and committed suicide. Kyouya's suspicions and Nana's are growing as she tries to cover up the killings. The other students still refuse to believe it. The gang in the dormitories hears a scream and rushes to Michiru's room and they discover her body. As Kyouya investigates and discovers that Kaori was poisoned via her contact lenses, Michiru reveals Habu's gift of converting her saliva into poison, leading Kyouya to suspect Habu. Michiru informs Kyouya that Kaori and Habu last spoke in the forest with Nana after going through Kaori's phone. Kyouya, convinced that Nana murdered Michiru, tells several of their classmates of the fact. Kyouya begins searching Nana for Habu's phone after detailing his proof against her. Kyouya apologizes to Nana after searching for her but finds no phone to prove his allegation after Michiru shouts at him for putting her through so much. Nana informs the group that Habu's spirit voice instructed them not to mistrust anyone else. Later that night, Michiru notices Nana serving as the night's watchman in the dorms. She volunteers to be on the lookout in a lovely manner so Nana can rest. But, as if by magic, an ominous look appears on her face, and she holds a blade to Nana's throat, asking her what her true talent is. This throws Nana off guard, but she soon regains her footing and disarms her, hurting her hand. Nana brings Michiru to the cliff the next day to confront her, knowing that the person isn't Michiru because she dressed her hand wound instead of mending it. Michiru transforms into a guy, Jean, who introduces himself and informs her that he used to attend school. Jean gives Nana coffee while making himself a cup as he leads Nana to a cave. Jean explains that he has been impersonating the cat that Kyouya has been feeding and that his classmates were at odds 5 years ago. On the other hand, Nana slips poison into the drink, killing Jean. So Nana reasoned. When Nana dials her phone to call the committee to report on Jean, Kyouya grabs it and transforms into Michiru and Seiya, as Nana realizes with horror that Jean can duplicate not just the appearance but also the powers of whatever he shape-shifts into. Nana is at a crossroads in her life, caught between her objective and her budding connection with Michiru. Jean enters Nana's room and offers her a tip on Michiru's whereabouts and her concern for her safety. Nana hesitates before deciding to prioritize her objective, fearing Michiru is still a threat. Later, Nana receives a call from Mr. Soroka, a council member, reminding her of the importance of her task. This phone call causes Nana to reassess her options. She begins to question whether Michiru is an adversary and whether her actions are acceptable. Meanwhile, Michiru is in danger since she is being pursued. She tries to flee but is surrounded by her assailant, and just as the fatal blow is about to be delivered, Nana steps in and takes the impact herself. Nana explains that the astral traveler and Mogu acquaintance Rentaro is the murderer. Rentaro continues his onslaught, and Nana is seriously injured as a result. Kyouya inquires about Mogu's activities the night before, suspecting foul play. Mogu's acquaintance displays their special abilities, astral travel, voice impersonation, and human magnetism. Kyouya then looks into Ruji's girlfriend, Fuko, who can manipulate wind. Fuko exhibits her dominance during their contact, creating a tense situation. Kyouya confronts the teacher at Tsukiniki's burial, stating his wish to interact with the higher-ups. Nana watches the unfolding events with increasing concern as Kyouya's suspicions grow stronger. Fuko approaches Nana, wanting her assistance in avenging Ruji's death, complicating Nana's situation even further. As the investigation progresses, Nana and Kyouya become involved in a web of riddles, and their uneasy alliance evolves. Nana enters Habu's room to get her poison, but Jean, the shapeshifter, comes and delivers the vial. He proposes that Nana reconsider opening up to him. Nana receives the poison but is wary of it. Nana rushes to Michiru's side, concerned about her well-being. Nana is divided between her growing feelings for Michiru and the duties of her assignment. Meanwhile, Mr. Soroka, the council representative, calls Kyouya and informs him of an imminent inspection. Nana observes that Michiru becomes unwell due to overusing her healing abilities. Nana is moved by Michiru's generosity and vulnerability, which leads her to reconsider her objective. Nana tells Michiru about her tragic past, revealing how a childhood tragedy led to her parents' deaths. Even while she expresses her sorrow, Nana muses on the potential of eliminating Michiru in the future. Despite their emotional bond, Nana stays dedicated to her mission. Nana walks out of Michiru's room, her inner conflict tearing her apart as she struggles to choose between her mission and her blossoming friendship with Michiru. Jean enters Nana's room and provides information about Michiru's probable threat. At first, Nana considers running to Michiru's aid, but her phone rings. Mr. Soroka, a council member but not his boss, is on the other end of the queue. He reminds Nana of the importance of her mission and anticipates her steadfast dedication. At this point, Nana had a change of heart, deciding to prioritize her objective again. She sees Michiru as a persistent threat and decides that her mission comes first. Meanwhile, Michiru, terrified and frantic, tries to flee her assailant. The lethal blow approaches, but just as it is about to strike, Nana steps in, sheltering Michiru from the attack while taking a stab in the back. Nana explains that Ruji's assassin is Rentaro, Mogu's pal with astral travel abilities. Rentaro, in his astral form, continues his brutal assault on Nana, stabbing her repeatedly. He appears to gain warped pleasure from violence, motivated by a terrible desire to harm. Kyouya discovers Rentaro's human body inside the dormitories, following his and Nana's plan. Rentaro's astral travel connection is severed as a result of this finding. Michiru rushes to Nana's side as she bleeds freely and struggles to stay alive. Michiru ignores Nana's complaints and uses her healing talents to treat Nana's ailments. Nana is magically restored to perfect health despite the severity of her wounds. Her clothing, which was once crimson and ripped, showed no signs of harm. Nana, kneeling near Metro's motionless corpse, listens for a heartbeat. What she hears shatters her, causing her to sob in agony as the weight of her acts and a never-ending cycle of violence take their toll. Thanks for watching. If this series is the most liked in my anime recap production, I will make a part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to help me make more content.